Alrighty, morning everyone, and welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel on another beautiful day. In today's video, I'm going to talk with you about why I started to buy gold and silver coins, why I started to invest into gold and silver. Well, that's been quite some time ago, honestly, but we'll go over this whole story. I will explain to you everything that you might want to know about that and everything that you might want to know also before you start to invest into gold and silver coins. Might also be something important. But before we do that, we'll take a quick look at all the nice little coins that I brought for you today. So, first of all, I've got two old German coins, really old German coins. This one is from the year 1910, and this is a 3 mark coin. Very nice, yeah. You could pick those up very cheaply a couple of years ago, but not really anymore, right? Because, the prices and the markups of all kinds of silver coins just went through the roof when this whole crisis stuff started, so you're not really gonna get these cheaply anymore. What you can still get reasonably cheap, at least some versions of it, is this 20 mark coin, and this is from 1901 actually, so a little bit older even. And these coins actually can still be picked up at like maybe 5% over spots, something like that. But obviously you're not really going to find these outside of Europe. They are not very common all around the world. And I think they kind of look interesting, right? And historical coins, yeah, kind of interesting in my opinion at least. And so kind of nice that I've got some of those because, yeah, obviously they are really, really old, way older than 100 years. This one's even like 120, 121 years. Pretty good for a coin that still looks decently new actually. And these were actually used to pay for stuff back in the days, which is also interesting. Like 100 years ago, people actually used to pay with those. So yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool is also this one. This is a 1 ounce American silver eagle. Very nice coin. This is a 2021 model, the second version of it. Of course, the first version still had the old design on it, and this is the new design, which is the only design that is produced nowadays in 2022 and will probably for the next couple of decades. And the last one is a Caribbean seahorse in 1 ounce, in the 1 ounce silver size as well. Nice coin, unfortunately does not come in a coin capsule. You have to put that in there manually and it comes just in a bag. Unfortunately, because, well, it's probably gonna have some weak spots after some time. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna get right into it now. Why did I start buying gold and silver coins, or gold and silver in general? Well, I was still very young when I started to buy gold and silver coins, actually still a child, and that was like approximately a little bit more than 10 years ago. And I started to buy gold and silver coins mainly because I just somehow found it interesting that you could like take your money that you did stuff for, or your pocket money or whatever, and just put it into something that is interesting, maybe looks nice, right? Like the coins obviously all look pretty nice, and just have it laying there and it going up in value, like without me doing anything necessarily, or at least keeping its value. So that was also very interesting to me, and for some reason I just liked these metals, I just liked these coins very much, and I thought just, yeah, that's a cool thing to do. So I did that. I bought a few of some older coins from the region I was living in back then, and I liked those, and I still have some of them, I think. Might be that I sold some of them, but at least the first stuff that I had, I still have that. These were like 2 little 5-gram bars of fine silver, and I still have those to this day, and they are in some really yellow piece of plastic, but yeah, they are still there. I paid way too much for that. I think I paid like $10 back in the days, and well, yeah, they were not worth that, but I still have them today, and I'm still happy that I have them, and they are not worth $10 today, but at least I did something with my money that made me think about other stuff that I could maybe do with my money, right? And so I started investing into coins that were a little bit cheaper, and I started to look into different tax stuff, because obviously different kinds of gold and silver have different tax brackets, so to say, over here in Europe, and you kind of have to figure out what's the cheapest one. And the cheapest ones are actually coins, because they are treated as like a currency, and so you only have to pay 7% tax on that, as opposed to the 19% that you usually have to pay. But regardless of that, you can definitely really make some good adjustments to the price that you pay by just taking a look at the tax stuff around them. At least over here. I don't know if that's the case in America and other parts of the world. I don't think so. But I think you have like rounds and stuff, right? Rounds that are not part of a currency system, and you can get those cheaper, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I just don't know, but I think you can get rounds a little bit cheaper than coins. So that's obviously a cool thing if you've got an option like that. In general, like nowadays it's not that easy to do that anymore. Back in the days, like I used to pay like 10-15% markup on 1 ounce bullion coins, right? Which is ridiculous nowadays. You're not going to get that anywhere. Like you can be happy if you pay less than a third of markup, which is it's crazy. But back in the days, right, it was just a cheap way, really, because 1 ounce silver coin, what did I pay for that? Maybe $15 or something like that. A couple of years ago, maybe like 6-7 years ago. Yeah, as I said, like $15 for a 1 ounce silver coin. And obviously I made a lot of money on those, but you know, it's just, I made a little bit of money back then, right? And I put it into silver coins and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I've got these coins. I don't only have this money, which is obviously becomes worth less and less over time. So that's nice. And so I kind of accumulated those over time, and I actually was able to save a lot of money, which then gave me another reason to keep doing it, because it's like a way of saving money while spending money, which is cool because obviously when you still like a child or very young adult, only saving your money is a bit boring, right? So that was also a big reason for me to like go ahead and say like, yeah, that's cool. I can spend my money on stuff that I like, that actually looks cool, and that stuff like that I can collect and whatever. And it still goes up in value. Like I started buying collector's coins, for example, and some of those went like crazy in valuation. I sold some of them off because they were like 4 or 5 times the amount of money that I paid for them. And nowadays, obviously, collector's market is crazy in all kinds of different directions. So like these coins are worth so much more now than I paid for them. I remember I bought like for Christmas, and with my Christmas money, I bought like a 5 ounce silver coin that was like like something like an antique coin, and it looked kind of cool, right? It was very thick coin, and I think I paid like $60 for it back then, and I just sold it a couple of years ago for $300 for that. Crazy. I've got another one of those. I bought another one for like 80 a few years back, and I kept those, but it's crazy. I mean, that wasn't even a very special coin. I think it has like a mintage of like 30,000 pieces, and really like I sold that for 5 times its value. It's crazy. So that's obviously stuff why I started buying into gold and silver. Obviously gold not really, because I didn't really have any money back then. I think I bought like 1 or 2 grams or something like that at some point, which was a lot of money for me. It was like $60 as well. So yeah, that's also something that I would say got me into that kind of stuff. I could just buy stuff without actually spending money. Well, like, you get what I mean, like spending money, but not really spending it, because you still have something that keeps its value and even goes up in value quite a bit over time, as, we've seen with all kinds of different coins, and even just the metal itself. Obviously, silver and gold have also gone up quite a bit over the last few years. Obviously, silver has some non-natural spikes in there, like around around 2010, 2011, 2012, and obviously way back in the 70s or 80s. I think it was 80s, whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? The silver has some unnatural spikes because it always loved to be manipulated and stuff like that. People always love to manipulate silver, and they still do to this day. So silver's price is not a natural price in any shape or form. Gold is a little bit more natural because it doesn't have as much manipulation as silver does, but it doesn't really matter. I don't want to get into that right now. We're going to make some videos about that too. But that's pretty much it, why I went into silver. It was affordable for me because I didn't have a lot of money. And after some time, when I made a good amount of money with the silver coins that I bought, right, I was like, that is so cool. I'm going to continue doing that. And so I'm pretty much just doing that until this present day. Of course, I haven't kept everything because some things have just gone up so much in value that I just found it unreasonable to keep them. But yeah, this is pretty much my main reason why I started buying gold and silver. It was affordable to me at the time, it was fun for me at the time, and it still is. And it was something where I could spend my money without actually spending it. Nowadays, my reasons for buying silver are obviously a little bit different. I might be tempted to make another video about that at some point, but for now I would say this is pretty good as far as content for a video goes. If you have any more reasons why you started buying gold and silver, be sure to let me know. I'm very interested in that as well. And if you've got any more questions whatsoever, be sure to write them in the comments below. I'd be very happy to answer those as always. And you can also rate the video with a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you might want to do. And you can also subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any other videos that I post in the future. So yeah. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, and until next time.